Dear learners, welcome again to the exciting world of writing of reviews as well as features. First of all, we will take up writing of reviews. The question is, what is a review? A review is a critical analysis and critical evaluation of something, some kind of performance. That performance may be a film, a book, a drama, a dance performance, etc., anything. Here, mainly in journalism, we will be dealing with films, books, dramas, performances, etc. Now, why do we need a review? Review is reviewing something. On an average, whenever we watch a film, we observe a drama, we read a book, we watch or see a dance performance, etc., or other comic performance, then we do it for our entertainment most of the times. But when we are asked, being a journalist or being a media person, in future you may be asked to give a critical evaluation or unbiased evaluation about some kind of performance anywhere. That is why review in the proper sense, in the journalistic and mass media and communication point of view sense, is becoming important. Now, every year, there are so many films, books, dramas, or other performances are carried out every day, every night, every 365 days of the year. So many books, films, etc. are being performed. It's impossible by any standard to see or watch all those kinds of programs by one single individual. Now, in that case, which are the films, books, dramas, or dance performance, etc., we would like to go and watch? There comes the importance of review. A review gives you an unbiased and impartial opinion about what the performance is about and whether one should go to, whether it will be worth going to watch it or going to read it, etc. Now, let us speak of films, for example. Even within films, every year there will be in Assam, in India, you must be knowing that every year almost 700 to 800 films are being made in all the languages. Assamese, then South Indian cinema industry, then Bollywood, and even Hollywood and Western movies. Now, out of those, normally, majority of the people would like to watch a film, watch a drama, or read a book under any circumstances in a year. It varies, of course, with person to person, but on an average, we can say that most of the people do like to see a film first, then read a book, and then watch a drama. Now, even with the films of our favorite directors, producers, actors, etc. For example, if in the year 2019, there were 20 or 30 films which were released, which belong to the category of our liking. Suppose personally I like those 20 or 30 films, that either the director, the screenplay, the story, the actors, etc. Now, it is not possible to see all the movies, 20 or 30 movies maybe. Then, given a chance, I can see at the most 3 or 5. Suppose there is a situation in which I can watch only 3 or 5 of these films. Now, how do I select these 3 or 5 films in order of preference? There comes the importance of reviews. Same thing happens, same thing applies with the books, dramas, which are performed everywhere. In one of the earlier lectures, I have mentioned about the Broadway streets in New York, where regularly very important, prominent dramas are being performed all the year round. Okay. So it is an important thing there. And in Delhi, in New Delhi as well as other places, there are some good auditoriums where quite a few good groups, established professional groups as well as amateur groups, perform dramas every now and then. And again, many a times Different kinds of classical dances, modern Western dances, etc. are being performed for public viewing time to time under the encouragement of different groups and organizations. Similarly, every year hundreds of books are being published. Some of them might be academic books, some of them might be purely novels, some of them might be short stories, etc. So we go to our category. I, being a professor in a university, I would like to definitely read some of the books which have some academic interest, definitely. So such a book, if it comes for review to the newspaper office, it will be sent to a researcher or a senior teacher in a university, preferably. Then if it is a novel or short story, it will be sent to some established reviewers of stories and novels. Now, if it is a drama performance, then one senior person or person who may not be on the regular staff of that organization will be sent to see the drama and give a review report for the benefit of the readers. Now, the benefits of review is that it helps us choosing our product, choosing the product that I would like to see, then make an opinion about it, make or form an opinion about it. And again, one of the most important things is that many times we see a film, we see a drama, we read a book, but because of many factors, we may not focus, we may have missed one or two very important points in that film, movie, or drama, or book. Now, a review will direct you or guide you to that specific aspect which you may have missed, or which you might have missed. Okay. That is why it is advisable that before choosing a film, book, or drama to be watched or observed or read, you should always go for a reliable review of that particular product. I am saying reliable because most of the established newspapers and magazines, they do have a system of, providing or printing reviews of films, these products. Again, even the television channels and news, radio, some of the radio channels, they also many a times provide reviews of such products. Now, review has a kind of personal opinion also attached to it. That is why it may differ with each and every person, even though they might be, all the people might be reviewing one particular product, one specific product. For example, if 10 reviewers from different newspapers or magazines are reviewing one particular film or one particular book or one specific drama, there is a possibility that each of them will have a different opinion about it. If it is in general okay, that is fine, but otherwise, some of the comments, some of the opinions will be definitely different, because unlike news, in review, the reviewer's personal perspective and personal upbringing as well as personality also matters a lot in finally writing the review. That is why we must try ourselves to be as unbiased and as impartial as possible, or as objective as possible. Now, in your theory classes, you might have come up with a saying, or you might have come up with a theory called selective exposure and selective perception. Now, each and every person has a specific personality based on his upbringing, the social situation in which he has developed, etc. And that personality is sure to be reflected when you are writing a review, because here opinion will matter to a big extent. But we must try our best for not allowing such bias or such partiality to come up when we are writing a review of a certain product. Selective exposure and selective perception means, by nature, human beings or even other animals would like to remain in such circumstances where they feel comfortable with as far as possible. And they will view each and everything except themselves with a personality or with the perspective that he or she has developed over the years. That review being an opinion piece, that bias might appear sometimes. It should not be too heavy or too much. Now, while we try to review something, first of all, we should give technical aspects. If it is a book, who is the writer who has published it, what is the genre, or what is the kind of story or kind of writing it is aiming at, and how is whether the headline, whether the title of the book is relevant to the story or not, or whatever is being written or not. Then if it is a film, whether the title is reflecting the story properly or not, whether title as well as the story are supporting each other, how are the actors acting, whether they are acting as a good team or not. Then what is the pace of the movie, what is the pace of the book? If it is a novel, what is the pace of the book? And if it is a drama, what is the pace of the drama? How the director has been able to justify whether each of the actors are doing a fine job, etc. All these things have to be properly observed and written about in the review. For this, you need to see each of these programs at least once. If even in one go you cannot decide what you want to write, then you have to do it 2-3 times. You have to read the book at least once, see the film at least once minimum, and you have to see the drama at least once, so that you can be true to your judgment and your writing. Now, there is one thing. You may have found it in your practical life sometimes when you go for watching a film, or when you go for watching a very popular drama, or when you are trying to read a very popular book which has already become popular. You will find many times that audiences in the hall, or readers of the book who have read the book earlier, they will be giving a running commentary on that, now this is going to happen, now that is going to happen, etc. That is why, even if you are writing, even when you are writing a review, that surprise element should not be divulged. What I want to mean is that, why do you ask yourself, why would you go to see a film, read a book, or watch a drama? Because you want some entertainment, or you want some insight from it. Now, if the review reveals whatever you can expect, or the entire story, then you will miss the entertainment point, and you will miss the interest which you would have been hoping to find in the film, or in that book, or in that drama. That is why I have said, not revealing the surprise element. The surprise element is nothing but the actual ambience of the film, the book, or the drama. This is, of course, easier said than done. It's very difficult to do, but you must keep in mind that if the person feels that the review has been written in such a way that you don't have to see the film, or you don't have to read the book, that will be an opposite effect which is not desirable. If you find the book or the film interesting, or the drama performance good, then your review should be encouraging people to go and watch that film or the drama or read that book, not otherwise. That is why these things should be kept in mind very carefully. Then again, when you are talking about the story in the film or the book or the drama, if possible, as far as applicable, try to give local stories or examples of local issues for connecting people's opinion or people's interest with the film or the book or the drama, even if it might have been in a foreign country. There was a movie which got the Oscars this year in 2020. I personally have an interest in the stories or the kind of stories, the genre which we call as genres, in which that movie was made. So I would like to definitely see the movie, and when I read the review of it, it has increased my interest in that movie. So I would like to see that movie because I have read the reviews properly. Of course, the theme or the genre in which that movie was made, that also appeals to me that has been appealing to me for a long time. So as far as possible, you try to give a localization of the issues of the stories, and if you can compare the various nuances as well as the good aspects of the drama, book, film, or dance performance, that will be a good review. And if you can also say how much current relevance that film, drama, book has for the time being, that will also be important. For example, there was a film which I liked and which has been set, the background of the story has been set in almost 120 years earlier than today. But the story was such that it still has a lot of relevance even now. Like Gandhiji has relevance still now, and even his relevance is still growing. Similarly, if you can establish that the book's stories or whatever has been said in the book or the drama or the film are still relevant and they are even currently important for the current present society, that will give you a much better audience as well as acceptance by the audiences. You have to be also very careful in writing a review, because based on your opinion, a film or book or drama or any other product which you are reviewing may become either very popular or it may become doomed. If, say for example, a newspaper is being read by 1 lakh people or 2 lakh people worldwide or even within the country, if out of that 1 lakh people, at least 30,000 or 20,000 people care to read your review about a certain film, and they feel that you have given such a review that they don't want to see that movie or read that book or see that drama. Now, even if that drama, film or book may have had a lot of good things, then because of your review, not many people will go to see it or watch it as well as read it, and then it will be doomed. Then again, maybe inadvertently or because of your own personal point of view, you have praised one of these products to a very big extent, and based on it, a lot of people have gone to see it. Some of them might have been repenting that or regretting, why did I come to see this film or read this book, because it was not that relevant and it was not at all to my satisfaction, to that person's satisfaction. That may also happen. But that is why you have to be very careful in writing a review of any product. Fine. And if necessary, look at it, watch it, observe it, read it for more than 2-3 times, and talk to seniors or other knowledgeable people who can guide you in this regard. But the most important purpose is that it is helping you or helping us to choose a product, whether we should use it or not. The same happens with all other kinds of consumer products, etc., etc. But here we will be basically confining ourselves to these three or four products, performances. That is why review is so important. And in one of the earlier slides, lectures, I have emphasized on the fact that each and every media organization, whether it is a newspaper, whether it is a news channel in TV, television news channel, or radio news channel, general radio channel, general TV channel, all of them have their own goals, objectives, and interests, etc. Now, if you are asked to write a report, write a review report about any product, those will also be guided by these goals, objectives, and interests to a big extent. If your newspaper would like to promote stories, books on novels or one particular genre or one particular theme, then definitely it will be, they will look for books only in that theme. Okay. Now, who writes these reviews? Many times, regular staff members, editorial persons, or journalists do write write the reviews of these films and books or performances, and at other times, on other occasions, there is a panel of such experts who are requested to write whenever the occasion demands. For example, if there is a film which has come out recently, which has been released recently, and which has made a big name in the industry, and it is somewhat of a different genre, then the newspaper or the channel might contact somebody established in that field who may not be from that organization itself and request them to write a review. It's like the editorial panel, editorial writers panel, where the editorial articles may not be written by the regular staff members of the organization, but at times, many times in fact, they are written by external experts who are on a panel for doing this. Many times, as I have said, it so happens that before watching a film, I read a review and find that the review which has been published in a newspaper or which was broadcast by a TV channel or radio channel matches properly with what I expected. But sometimes it may be the opposite feeling. You feel that whatever was written in the review report doesn't match with whatever is being shown. And many times, given opportunities, we do watch films, we do read books, or we do dramas, or go for performances even without reading a review. But as far as possible, because of paucity of time and because of scarcity of time basically, and because of too many choices, it is preferable that we go for a review and then only decide which one we should pick up for watching, reading, or observing. One important question is, how do we select the book, the performance, or the product for writing a review out of so many such products which are flooding the market? For films, I have said, if not all the 100 or 700 or 800 films are not so important, not so commercially or artistically very good, but at least out of 700, 800 films, at least 10% or 100, around 100 of them or 50 of them will be of good quality, potentially. Now, even out of 50 or 100 or even 30 good quality films, which one should we select for review? The same thing applies for books, dramas, etc. Here, selection for books or these products for review depends upon the organization's own goals, objectives, interests, and also if there is a request by somebody for doing so. For example, if a film is released by a prominent house, they may request one of the established newspapers or magazines to do a review for the film and publish it in their own newspaper. Same for the books or dramas, because this is not advertisement, mind it. This is publicity, because advertisement, you have to pay money. You have to say that so-and-so film or is being released on this and this date, so please come to see. Or so-and-so book is being released on this and this date, so please come read it, buy it and read it. And again, that this drama will be performed on such and such date, please come and see, enjoy it. But when you select a film, drama, book, or film, or any other kind of performance for review, and if it is a good review, then it is a very big publicity for that product. And you know what is publicity? Publicity is getting a name without costing even a single rupee or any kind of financial or other benefits. Okay, because in advertisement you have to pay a money, but in if a review of your book or a film or drama is published in one of the very reputed newspapers like Times of India, Hindu, New York Times, the Daily Mirror, etc., Frontline, that itself will speak, that itself will give a lot of boost to your product. That it is being included, or it is being that particular organization has cared to review your product, is itself a good publicity and advertisement, whatever you say, for your product. Fine. So that is why the producers, directors of films, books, writers, etc., they will always try to get as many positive publicity, positive reports, review reports to be published in newspapers or broadcast in books. So this is how a review is important, why and how a review is important. And for example, for practice, you should try to read reviews by established newspapers of films, about films, books, dramas, or any other kind of product, and look at how they are writing it, how they are giving the introduction, how they are how they are dealing with the technical aspects, and how they are looking at the stories, etc. And mind it, you will have to develop one of your writing which is different than anybody else. That will come after a practice. So one good exercise I would like to request you to do is read a film, or whatever film you have seen, or you have read, whatever book you have read recently, or if you are interested in looking at a drama or dance performance, etc. If you have already seen something, done something like that, then it's okay. But even if you have not done it now, purposefully you go for watching a film, read a book, pick up a drama and see it, and then write whatever you have felt about that particular product. Then after that, you try to match, try to compare your writing with the writings. If any established newspapers have published reviews about that particular product, try to compare your writing with those writings. Even if it is 2-3 papers, it is good, because you will get a better perspective out of your writings. That is a very good way of developing your observational skills for writing a review. And also, if you are writing about a film, try to read about different aspects of films, filmmaking, different aspects of books, stories, etc. Language, then dramas. What is the language of the drama? Language, I don't mean the text language, the body language and overall language or reflection of the drama, etc. That is the only way how you will be able to master the art of writing reviews for anything at all. After some time, it will have to be coming to the writings will have to come automatically and spontaneously out of your hand. And from time onwards, if you are interested in reviewing a product like that, you should practice it in such a way that whenever you are reading it, whenever you are looking at a new product anywhere, either watching a drama, watching a film, or reading a book, automatically the review part should come to your mind in a spontaneous manner. Okay, so you should try to do this exercise at your home. It is very easy, and nowadays with the help of internet, you will find reviews of most of the products in the internet sources also, weblogs and then net newspapers, etc. So your job will be slightly convenient because you can write and you can compare your notes with whatever is being published already on the net. Okay, dear learners, now after the discussions on writing of reviews, we shift our focus to the discussion on writing of features. What is a feature? A feature is any kind of human interest story based on facts and figures, and this can be on anything at all under the sun. Okay, now don't confuse with features as proper stories. It is not fiction. It is also not a proper news story, but in between. So a human interest story also has to be based on facts and figures, but it is not written in a proper news article or news item story. Who says what and not, etc. The principle or the inverted pyramid need not be applied to features exactly as it is in news items. You can start anywhere, any point, whichever you feel like, by which you can create an interest. Now, what is human interest? Anything that can be of interest for the human being or the readers or target audience of your newspaper, TV channel, news channel, radio news channel, etc. And that is a feature. Now, why is a feature article important, or why is it being used? You see, proper news is okay. That is one way of journalism or the mass media system. But in features, you give more importance rather on the humanistic point of view rather than the factual points of view. Facts are important, no doubt, but you tend to develop a human interest angle out of anything that has been happening. Now, the question is, what are the major themes or genres of writing a feature? It can be anything on society, celebrity, food, innovation, recent trends, behind the scene activities, anything. I mean, it cannot be properly defined. I mean, you cannot limit it to any defined activities. And again, society, celebrity, all these themes are very broad themes. You will have to zero down on a particular issue. For example, celebrities. Wherever you are living, whether it is in a metropolitan city, it is in a town, smaller city, village, time to time, some prominent persons might be visiting your place on some occasion or other. In cities, of course, definitely more such celebrities or important people keep visiting for various purposes. Now, you have to keep a track on how many or who are those celebrities or important personalities from any source or any ground or any field are visiting your place. The person may be a very big singer, a popular actor, film actor, a popular social worker who has got into prominence, someone who has gotten a very big prominent award, etc. And somebody, even you must have heard about the Children's Bravery Awards are given every year by the government of India. So such a person, such a child, if he or she belongs to your place, he can also, I mean, you can write something on him or her also. Now, food. Nowadays, ecotourism and going ethnic is becoming a very important aspect of tourism as well as people's interests. Compared to 20, 25 years back, nowadays, especially in the towns and metro cities, more and more people are preferring to eat out at least once a week or twice a week for various reasons. One reason is that nowadays in many families, both the spouses are working spouses, and that's why they do not get time, and if they do not have kids at home, they go for food in a restaurant or so. And many times, many people do not like to have the monotony of having food at home always and go for a change weekly once or twice. They go for a specific kind of food outlet to taste different kinds of food. Here, if you can find what kind of food trends are going on, catching up in this particular town, or if any ethnic food is becoming more important, or if people are trying old foods which were food items which were popular 100 years back, 200 years back, if people are trying those foods, that is another kind of way of writing a feature on those things. Then innovation. You know, there is a very popular person in India, popular means very prominent person who has become famous by redesigning motor vehicles. Okay, and today he is an established name in the country on redesigning of motor vehicles which are produced by companies, mass-produced vehicles redesigned. If that person comes to your town, or if you can catch hold of him somewhere, him or her, whoever it is, that will become an interview of him or her will become a very interesting feature. The recent trends. You must have seen bungee jumpings becoming quite prominent, quite popular some time back. Now, if there is any such kind of new developments coming up, how people try to experience something unknown, something exotic, that will become an interesting topic for a feature. Then behind the wheels, behind the scenes. You must have seen airports, and have you ever thought about how all these airlines, how all these aeroplanes are controlled? Or in a metropolitan city like Mumbai, you know about the Mumbai rail local train network, how each and every train is being controlled. And more so, if at the airport, Bombay airport is very busy, Delhi is also very busy, and even in major metropolitan cities of the world, where say New York, London, Singapore airport is supposed to be one of the most busiest airports in the world. Okay, have you ever wondered how the flights are controlled, like traffic control is being carried out in our cities? So that can, behind the scenes, similarly, how in airports, you submit the luggage you have to the airlines and they will take care of you. And if you have 2 or 3 connecting flights also, your suitcase or your luggage will be delivered to the final station without any problem. How is it possible? So this is behind the scene activity. So it can be on anything and everything. Only thing is that you will have to be able to find out some human interest issue out of everything. As I have said, a feature need not follow the inverted pyramid style. Whichever point or whichever activity in a specific development you feel that will be more important than others, then you start with it. You don't have to follow a sequence, chronic sequence from, or chromic order like that. You will have to start only from point 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You can start from point 5 also if it is more appealing for the human minds, and then go ahead with other points wherever they will fit in. It's usually longer than hard news, but depending upon the newspaper in which you are trying to write, it not be advisable that you should write, it is not advisable that it should be more than 1500 or 2500 words, or at the most 3000 words. Otherwise, it will be too long and people will lose interest in reading it. Freelancer and stuff. Many of the features are written by freelancers. Now, what is a freelancer? A freelancer is a person who is not regularly employed by an organization, but because of his interest and his capacity of writing good stories, he or she is contacted by the newspaper organization for writing a feature on a certain topic of his interest. his or her interest. And many times, they are also written by the regular staff of the organization. That is also there. In the newspapers or media organizations of our country, usually we do not have staff writers. They are called staff writers. But in many of the newspapers and magazines outside, they have staff writers who write features or specific special angle or specific interest stories whenever it is necessary, depending on the occasion. Then again, features can be planned for the future also. For example, a very convenient way of trying to write a feature will be to look at various kinds of days which are celebrated or celebration of various days, such as 10 December is World Human Rights Day, then 13 March or 8 March is the, in March it is the International Women's Day, November 16 is the National Press Day, May 3 is the World Press Freedom Day, then there is Water Resources Day, then there is a day also celebrated or observed for public broadcasting of news, etc. And there are different kinds of days matching various occasions throughout the year. Okay, and every day new days are coming up, adopted. Now, try to take out the list and try to write a feature out of some days or some occasions which are falling on a certain day, which will be coming, say, within 2-3 months. I'm saying 2-3 months because if you want to write a feature, you have to do a lot of work, that is background research. Then background research means how the day has come to be celebrated or observed, and how, say, for example, April 1 is observed as an April Fool's Day, or it is also called a Guy Fawkes Day also. So background research will give you how the day has come to be, how the occasion has come to be celebrated on this particular day, then why it is being celebrated, and how was, if there was any development that earlier it was celebrated in a different way, and now over the years it has transitioned, and there has been a transition, and now it is celebrated in a slightly different way, etc. And how earlier there must have been some conventions or rituals which were carried out in relation to that activity, but now if new rituals have taken place of the old ones, etc. Then, as far as possible, if you take interviews of some prominent persons who were directly related with it, and if that is not possible, even if somebody who is not directly responsible, not directly related to it, that will also be important. And finally, you have to sit down and write with all those inputs which you have received, and make sure that you also take a few good photographs. That will be also quite important. And after that, the process is like writing for other media activities, media aspects. You write the first draft, then revise, check for grammatical mistakes, etc., etc. And then I would suggest that you correct the grammar or edit it, and then you should read it second time also, so that no mistakes are there. Then you should try to send it to a newspaper. So the entire exercise will take around at least 1 month or 1.5 months. Of course, if you are going to devote on your time only on this, and then it may be possible even within 15 days or 20 days, that may happen. And you will have to time it in such a way that it is published on that specific day of the occasion. For example, if you are writing something on April Fool's Day, then you'll have to send it at least 15 days or 20 days advance to the newspaper, so that they have time to look at it and then decide whether it will be published or not, and then it is published on that specific day.